Guys, so in today's video we'll be discussing about Leh Ladakh in the month of May 2025, what you should be expecting in terms of weather, the road condition, accessibility, things to pack, overall the places that you should be visiting, and most of all, is it a good time to be going there. So starting off with the weather, the month of May is the start of summer in Leh Ladakh, so the daytime temperature will be anywhere between, I would say, 5 degrees to 15, while the night temperature will be anywhere between 0 to 7 degrees. Now this temperature depends entirely on where you are. In places like Leh town and in Hundar, it will be warmer as compared to the places which are higher in altitude, which is closer to the lake, that is Pangong and Somoriri. Now, when it comes to the temperature, keep in mind that the temperature, even though it is summer, it's not going to be what it is like in the rest of India. This is a part of the Trans Himalayas, and Ladakh will be cold even in the month of May. Now, when it comes to road accessibility, remember that the Srinagar Leh road will be surely open. This road is the best way to get to Leh if you're planning on taking a road journey in the month of May. The road to Srinagar generally opens by say mid-March, so by May it will be completely ready for travel with all the snow melting all over, so you will have a flawless experience driving from Srinagar all the way to Leh. If you are someone who wants to explore the road in depth, then I would personally recommend staying a night in Kargil. But if you are someone who's on a short 6-7 day road trip, then the best option is for you to drive straight away from Leh and reach from Srinagar and reach Leh. Now this journey will take you anywhere between 8 to 12 hours depending on the road condition now again and the number of times you stop. The more stops you make along the way, the longer the journey will be. Now the Manali Leh highway will open by maybe by end of May, so after the 20th, but it is not advisable to be considering the Manali Leh route in the month of May. The ideal time to be going via the Manali Leh route is in the month of June, that too from mid-June onwards, because even though the road opens, you will need change to get past the passes, which is Baralacha, Natula, which will be covered in snow. So my personal recommendation is either fly directly to Leh or take the Srinagar Leh route if you're planning a trip to Leh Ladakh in the month of May. Now, when you're traveling to Leh in the month of May, remember that it is summer holidays in all of India. So the flights from wherever you're flying will be very costly to Leh. This is the costliest month for flights. Expect the flights one way to be anywhere between 10 to 20,000 depending on when you book and from where your journey is. Delhi to Leh usually cost around 10 to 15, 10 to 20,000 one way. So most people end up taking the flight or the train to Jammu or Srinagar and then do the journey onwards, which is a much more advisable way to be traveling around Leh Ladakh in the month of May. Remember that acclimatization is very important. So if you're coming via Srinagar, you don't need to worry because you can spend a day or two in Srinagar and that will help you acclimatize before you reach Leh. Now, what are the places that you should be visiting in Leh in the month of May? Remember, everything is accessible other than the exit via Manali. So you can go all the way and explore Nubra Valley. You can go to the Sham side. You can even go all the way to Somoriri. Every place that you want to go to is accessible, including Zanskar Valley. Now that you have made your decision to be going to Leh Ladakh in the month of May, the amount of time that you need is entirely dependent on you. You can do a trip in 4 nights, 5 days and just see the peripherals of Ladakh, that is Hundar and Pangong, and then return back home. Or you can maybe spend 8-9 days and see entire part of Ladakh. Now if you're someone who's considering biking, keep in mind that in the month of May it can snow at Kardungla and Changla, and that would make biking extremely trickery, because once it starts snowing at these passes, there is very high chances of you skidding with your bike. So avoid biking in the month of May. If you are going in a group, the best time to go biking is from July onwards, but May is not an ideal time to go biking. If you're someone who's interested in biking, you can always hire a bike and just ride around Leh and go to places like Alchi and maybe till Lama Yuru. Now when it comes to what you should be packing, you definitely need your woolen wear because it gets extremely cold in the nights. Thermals is dependent entirely on person to person, but it is advisable if you're someone who has a low threshold for cold, then you should be carrying your thermals along with you. in the month of May, my personal recommendation for anyone traveling is you come with your woolens, and if you feel extremely cold, you can always buy more woolens from the market in Leh, which has plenty of woolen wear. No matter what you want, you will find it in Leh. Now, the ideal way to explore Leh Ladakh in May is to spend at least 3 nights in the town of Leh, 2 in the start and one on your return leg after visiting Nubra Valley and Pangong. If you're interested in going to Somoriri, you will need a minimum of 9 days, because with Somoriri comes Hanle, and just doing bits and pieces of this entire journey will end up being very costly. So it is advisable to plan this trip with a group, because if you're planning on going solo, you need to enroll on a trip with someone. We do have trips happening to Leh Ladakh in the month of May. You can click on the link in the description and you'll be led to our website, where you'll find all details related to our trips which are happening in May. If you're interested in a solo trip, you can click on the link and check out plan B and C and decide if you want to enroll. If you have any queries related to our trips, you can directly WhatsApp our team. If you have any queries related to Leh Ladakh, you can leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to help. Now, getting back to Ladakh in month of May, the ideal time frame to travel is anywhere between, I would say, 6 nights to 8 nights, because that is where Ladakh becomes more meaningful and worth the amount of money that you're spending. Because whether you're planning a 5-night trip or a 9-night trip, the difference in costing would be, I would say, not more than 5 or 10,000. So if you're anyways going to be spending upwards of 35 to 40,000 on your road trip to Leh Ladakh, it might as well spend another 5-10,000 on your overall journey and make everything possible. So you're going back without having to return back to Ladakh to see some parts which you might feel you missed out on because you had a limited budget. Now, when it comes to network, remember that Leh Ladakh is a place where only postpaid network works, and prepaid doesn't work at all. So no matter which provider you have of prepaid, it is not going to work in Leh Ladakh. The best postpaid network providers are Jio, Airtel and BSNL. Vodafone has really horrible network in this region, so even if you have a postpaid connection of Vodafone, it will barely give you good connectivity even in Leh town. Most places in Leh have Wi-Fi, and if you do not have network, you can always ask someone on your trip to give you hotspot, and you can be a parasite and use their network, or maybe get a postpaid SIM, which is a much more easier way. If you're someone who's data hungry and needs a lot of data, my personal suggestion is port to postpaid for a month or two, and then you can go back to prepaid, because there's no way prepaid will work over there. It can snow in Leh town and in the passes which are Kardungla and Changla, so be prepared for trickery weather in the month of May. It can get really tricky, because at the passes there have been times when we have been stuck even for over 24 hours because of snowfall and rocks falling. This can happen in the month of May because the weather is kind of dicey. It's the start of summer and the end of spring, but at the passes it's always winter if the weather goes bad. Now, overall, the places that you should not miss out is the village of Turtuk. By default should be on all your bucket list. It is a beautiful place to be going to. You can get to see the Baltic civilization. You can definitely buy some apricots, and most of all, you'll get to go to the border between India and Pakistan from the Nubra side. Other than this, when you're in Leh town, make sure that you're going to the Tibetan markets and you're buying some souvenirs, be it fridge magnets or prayer flags. Just make sure that you get something and help the local economy. My personal recommendation when you're looking to travel around Leh Ladakh is opt for homestays, because that's the best way to boost the local economy, and along with that, get the best first-hand experience that you can for your travel to Leh Ladakh. Because when you're staying in a homestay, you'll actually get a blend and an experience of what the daily life of the people in Ladakh is. Now, when it comes to Pangong Taso, it is ideal to stay at Tangse village, but if you're someone who's ready to brave it out, you can opt to stay at Pangong at the makeshift accommodation. Just remember that it's going to be really costly, and network is going to be really grim. Most of the time there is no network at Pangong Taso Lake. Other than this, if you have any queries related to Ladakh in the month of May, leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to help. If you want to book a trip, click on the description, you'll find on the links, go through the links, decide which trip, and you can book directly from our website, or you can WhatsApp us and book via one of our representatives. So now, till our next video for Leh Ladakh, stay safe, stay blessed and stay happy.